And the road supreme is Shawn Patrick Greene.
Yeah! Yay!
This is the ghost number of the show. Two-handed. There we go.
All I gotta say is, man, it's the team that did this. It's not me. I thank you for, the honor, and I thank you for doing this. I mean, Jordan, you really stepped up the game in the 48. I watched it over the years, and it's not just me. It's you. It's everybody in this room. Everybody, that's right. Give yourself a hand, really. You guys are really
Shawn P. Greene.
Win, and I love it. So this consolation, I'll take it with much pride, but more so in the team that was created this year. And I want to thank my team. Just give it up for my team.
Woohoo! Yeah, so, all right, so here I am. This is December 12th. All right, December 12th, 2022. 12-12-22. It's another year of the twos, ones and twos, really. Well, last year was better. So, what you're watching is just a little clip from the award ceremony that happened back in September 2022. And what that was all about was that they had this film competition called the 48-Hour Film Project. And it's been going on for over 20 years now. And here we are, 2022. I think this was my 7th year, or at least 7 years before I participated. So 2017 was my first year I actually participated. I wanted to 2 years before and I didn't. Long story short, we made this great, awesome project. And, it was called Doge Joe's Dojo. And we did, I don't know, up to 7 minutes of a film. And we won nothing. We had this thing called, it's a consolation prize. So that clip was kind of a consolation prize. It wasn't an official, best of or anything like that. I didn't even make the top 10 this year. So that's water under the bridge. But here's the thing. We did a film this year, and to me, it was the most fun that I've had because I had less work that I had to do for it. Yet I was very much engaged in a part of it and more in the leadership role than previous years. First year I did it, 2017, I was a character. I had some cameras, tripods. We used my house garage as one of the scenes. I had my father, my uncle, and a good family friend of my dad's participate with their music. And then we had a hodgepodge of two other people, two other representatives of other teams. We all came together. So basically it was like 3 distinct team members. And I really never had a team before. But Danielle Morega, or Danny Mo as we like to call her, she started this whole thing, reaching out for people to be on her team. And she had her brand of style of filmmaking and, writing and all kinds of stuff. Very talented, storyboard maker. She's really funny, good team, good sense of people. Then we had this paranormal activity guy named Cameron DeBoyne, who came in, completely a documentary filmmaker, searching for, paranormal activity in different places. And here I am. I'm a kind of a silly filmmaker, if you will, if I was considered a filmmaker, and I documented my life mostly on VHS camera prior to being a part of this, documenting most of my up until 2005, doing all the documentary work on VHS and Super VHS and taped formats, and then I switched to digital. And I was making quirky, goofy little skits here and there. And prior to the TikTok, Instagram, YouTube phase, I was doing all that kind of little goofy stuff already. Just entertaining myself and my family. Long story short, I started getting into acting, and then in 2009, and then 2008, 2009, and then moved to Buffalo, get into local scene acting, and then just being a part of learning how to be a real filmmaker, not just a hobbyist, but some, professional. And, as a professional actor, I thought I was already in radio, so I already was in the profession of media. Plus, I was a photographer, videographer, and all that kind of stuff. So here I am with this team, a hobbyist filmmaker, a documentary paranormal filmmaker, and then an independent, weird kind of a radio person. We made this thing called Doughy Joe's Dojo. That was like the premise, and then the title of it was called Mr. Imagination. So now let's shorten that story till fast forward to a film called Sliced. After that, the next year in 2016, I'm sorry, 2018, 2019, I did a film called Lay, with the niece of James, Rick James. Her name is Daisha Johnson. So she was the producer. I was an actor with a young lady. So Lay was the name of that one. 2020, we did not have a Buffalo 48. However, previous fall, 2019, I created my own team called Too Much Bull. Why? Because number one, I went to two colleges, and both of them had mascots of a bull. USF, South Florida, University of South Florida in Tampa, they were the Bulls. And I didn't graduate, but I transferred everything I could up to University at Buffalo, here in Buffalo, New York. And I graduated last year. And their mascot is the bull. So while I'm attending UB, I just decided, hey, that's a cool concept, and people have no idea what that means. So I just, Too Much Bull. That's what it all means. And some people misinterpreted it their own way, but that's the origin story. So 2019, I did part of the 48-hour film project called the 4 Points Film Project. It's just the online version of what each city normally would do on its own, but it's worldwide. And you do everything online, you submit it online, and that was the interesting thing about it. Was that was the precursor to the pandemic, and they already had a jump on how they would do these types of things by submitting online, and now that's the standard because of COVID. But prior to that, we had launch parties, we had get-togethers. We had submission parties. We had all kinds of fun activities for the Buffalo 48 anyways. And so the 4 points, I had a hodgepodge team, a couple people that have done the Buffalo 48 with other teams before, and then somehow we just kind of worked together. And we did a film called After All. It's kind of like a homage to the 9/11. It's supposed to be a period piece. Most period pieces, people go to like medieval times or 1930s or something. I went to 2001 where the Twin Towers were attacked. So long story short with that one, a couple more projects later, I did it under Too Much Bowl. 2020, I did one for the Christian Worldview Film Festival, which they didn't like, probably because we had a gun in it. We had a salvation message in it. We had a Christian theme, but it was probably too deep for Christian people. And whatever reason, didn't work out. Then 2021, we came back to the Buffalo 48 Hour Project. And Buffalo usually has theirs in August every year. We came back with my team, Too Much Bowl. I recruited heavily, and I had a lot of actors, a lot of actresses, really, with no crew. So I was the crew, and I had to help or ask for help from the actors and actresses to participate so I can maneuver some shots and make sure I had maybe a cameo or whatever. But that was a fun project. Even though it was stressful on my end, it was a fun project. I enjoyed it. Had a good time. Good set of people to work with. A little bit of drama, but that's expected. And that one was called it was a volleyball tournament type, dodgeball tournament type movie, and that was what did I call that? Forgot what I called it. Well, Absolution was the one before that. So all this is on my website. All this is on my YouTube channel. So if you want to check it out, I got I'll give you the website first. See, I'm kind of blind. There you go. Let's put the ticker down there. There you go. Instagram, Twitch, Twitter, TikTok, at Shawn P. Greene. Facebook, the same thing, Shawn Patrick Greene. And then ShawnPGreene.com. Get all the information there. And also YouTube. YouTube will have all that stuff. YouTube, Twitch, Twitter. So, and also I do podcasts and all that kind of stuff if you want to check that out. So you go to my YouTube channel, Shawn P. Greene. All right, back to my final story. Now, man, I forgot what I called this volleyball tournament. I think Edify was the working title. Wow, how can I not know the title of my own film? That's pretty bad. Anyways, that's out there. You can look on it. Project. And then 2022, the last one I just did in August, was called 60 Seconds. And I had some dude that made a film with, he said, like the same genre, same title, same all this stuff he made a year before. And he sent me a cease and desist letter, which he can't really because titles aren't copywritten. Now, if I had his logo on my project, then he would have a leg to stand on. But titles aren't necessarily, a copywritten thing. So anyways, I had a good time. And so this year, as they do every year, they have this thing that they crown somebody like a royalty figure representing the spirit of what the 48-hour film project is all about here in Buffalo. That's Buffalo's creator. The city producer's name is Jordan Lima, and he created this thing called the King of the 48 and Queen of the 48. And then every year they picked somebody that was a representative of that title. This year, everything's non-binary, so I'm the very first ever non-binary supreme ruler. That's the title. So that was the little clip that you saw in the very beginning. That was a little camera phone. But I'll have all that stuff, if you want to look at that later on my website as well. But it was such a fun event. That's all. The bottom line is I really enjoyed myself. Buffalo 48-Hour Film Project is absolutely a pivotal and landmark moment for my life every year. Every time I participate. And I didn't have too much enthusiasm to be a part of the one in November. For some reason, I just didn't want to do it. Just lost a little steam. Very busy this past summer, 2022. So I figured we'd take a break. We got some great filmmakers that are from this area too, especially. They're just smashing it. They're doing great jobs, making good films. So I don't feel the need to jump in like that, but a lot of people were asking, hey, are you going to participate this year? And I didn't. Not because I didn't want to, but just because I was just burnt out on a lot of activities over this whole year. A lot of stuff. So, a lot of traveling. I was participating in events. I was traveling. I was doing all kinds of stuff. So I just needed to take a break. A little overwhelmed with a lot of things. Just a lot of things. And holidays were coming up, so you know what? I'll chill. Prior to that, though, they had a couple events. I went to one event in Bridgeport, West Virginia. It was like a Christian film festival, and then I heard that some of the Buffalo people, producers, were being a part of or produce films for a Pittsburgh 48-Hour Film Project event. So I was in Bridgeport, south of Pittsburgh, about 2 hours, something like that. And it was another 3 hours to get home to Buffalo. So I said, you know what? I'll get a jump. Let's just go back home. The buzzes, stop and see what the buzz is, support Buffalo filmmakers, and then come back home. Get home earlier than I expected. And it was great. I had a good time. And I was just happy to encourage filmmakers to be creative and film and do things. Content wasn't in my favor and the stuff that I would produce, but I had a good time being a part of it. So anyways, that's what the first clip is. It's a miniature recap of 2022. I'm going to do a couple more of these before this month's over, but I just wanted to jump in. It's been a while since I've done a podcast specifically called The Shawn P. Greene Show, and I'm getting back to that in 2023. But meanwhile, I have other podcasts. Just go to my website, ShawnPGreene.com, and you'll see other podcasts that I've been doing the last couple, months, years. And, this year we did this thing called the Bread Unlimited podcast, which is hosted in my church. So I figured, hey, if you want to check that out, go for it. But that's it right now. Real short video. I just want to let you guys know what's going on, a little update on me. And, Christmas is around the corner, 12/12/2022. We're going to recap a couple more things, and we'll get back into the Shawn P. Greene Show next month. So keep it locked. Thanks for watching, and Merry Christmas. Happy New Year.